additional member and user from HRMD. Likewise, we have in attendance the head and members of the technical working group, head and members of the back secretariat. On the part of the prospective leaders, we have representatives from Land Bank Service Corporation, Colavera Technologies, Limited Incorporated, and DBP Service Corporation.
Okay, considering the foregoing, the chair declares a forum H about PGCS number 032-2019 come to order. Madam Secretary, what do we have scheduled today?
We have one item under our agenda, and that is the brevet conference for the following projects. Letter A, procurement of administrative support manpower services for PPA and office responsibility centers and projects. Letter B, procurement of administrative support manpower services for PPA port management offices, Luzon cluster. Letter C, procurement of administrative support manpower services for PPA port management offices, Visayas cluster. And letter D, procurement of administrative support manpower services for PPA port management offices, Mindanao cluster.
Thank you. Unless there are no objections, let's proceed to the sole item on our agenda, the brevet conference. Madam Secretary.
For the procurement of administrative support manpower services for PPA head office responsibility centers and projects, the project was posted in the PhilJets and PPA websites on July 18, 2019, with an approved budget for the contract of 204,232,205.87, with a project duration of 1 year. The floor is now open for your queries, clarifications. From the prospective leaders, we have here from LVP Service Corporation, sirs. You have your queries, clarifications. No, only for the head office. Sir, you can have your
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the bank. Our query is on, well, of course, LVP Service Corporation is the current service provider of PPA for the head office at Visayas and in Mindanao. Of course, through the years, being a service provider, there have been changes in the implementation of the contracts for different offices to PTA, and I refer to these changes on the number of days. But there are PMOs where we have deployed personnel who are rendering 6 days duty. We noted that in this particular meeting, all positions are for 5 days.
We will take that into consideration. We're instructing the member of the proponent to review whether or not changes have to be made regarding PMO regular days of the duty.
Yeah.
So it's particular with regards to PMO.
Yeah. Although, of course, we submit to the present, but we just would like to react. But,
Okay, as it stands at the moment, it's 5 days, but we will verify if there might be changes with regards to the operation duties of the PMO if it makes sense.
because it will have impact on the existing, well, this will be peculiar to our, this will be peculiar to us, Mr. Chairman, considering that, assuming that we are awarded again the contract for purposes of there will also be changes in the compensation of those people who are deployed for these positions, for clarification.
Okay, we'll review the current DOR, and if a fit bulletin is necessary, we will issue the necessary fit bulletin.
Sir, I think the provisions in the DOR, they are uniform, that the personnel assigned should render at least 8 hours of work, 5 days Monday to Friday.
There might be, well, we will review it if it's necessary, because if, in the DOR, there's a minimum rate provided for them. So once the contract is awarded, a staffing pattern will be provided to the winning bidder. So we will review if it's necessary to provide, to specifically state that there are some positions with 6 days, we will do so.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Another is on the salary grade 3 and 4. It appears that these positions fall below the minimum wage. And for existing contracting regulations, there should be no, or we are precluded from submitting a bid that will be violative of existing provisions of the minimum wage.
Okay, those will take into consideration.
Okay, another thing. Since these are the bidding consists of 4 lots, and a bidder may bid for all lots. In other words,
These are 4 separate procurement activities, so it's not per lot. So these are separate bidding, so it's not you bid for everything. So
You
there's a
choose to
separate
bid
procurement
for-
activity for head office, separate procurement activity for the zone cluster with item.
yes, Mr. Chairman, my clarification is should the bidder decide to bid for all the contracts, which would total to about 600 million, what would be the basis of the track record requirement? Because the possibility that the bidder may be awarded, or a bidder may just satisfy the lowest, yes, and yet win all the contract, so that it would put us in a position where a bidder that has no adequate capability will be taking on a contract of this magnitude just because he passed and the smaller falling the lowest. So maybe have clarification on this, because this is
Technical working group.
Individual
Sa net financing computation, lalabas ko yung capacity ng bidder for every project.
Because if they bid for all and they win in all, it might be that I think the query is if they bid for, it's possible that the bidder might qualify for the minimum in one, but not to answer for all.
because after all, the bidder will have to operate all the contract at the same time. It's just that it's divided into different contracts. But in reality, if you are awarded that contract, that is one big 600 billion contract, and yet you only have satisfy your track record, you only have about 50 million existing contract.
Bukulangin.
So yes.
Meron natin may sarili siyang computation for the NFCC, yung mga value, kinukompute mo.
But aren't we computing it on a per?
Yes, yes. Considering that we have separate
Yes,
bidding
however,
per
they will,
project.
if let's say XYZ wins all,
Oo.
do we have to? Parang sa engineering, parang,
Yes, in the question. If they have existing projects, they also compute yung existing
Cabinet Tactical Working Group to look into the existing rulings of the GPPP regarding this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And last question, in so far as the submission of the eligibility documents, can we just submit one eligibility documents for all, or do we have, okay, so one per?
No, sir,
Okay.
considering
The same paper, Mr. Chairman.
Separate.
That would be all.
Okay. That's okay. Please, inquire from the eligibility.
About representatives from Coladera Technologies. You have, wala ko. Okay. DBP Service Corporation. Any additional queries aside from those asked by LBP?
Just
Here's-
Great, thank you. Good morning to everyone. We are from DBP Service Corporation. Well, we are looking at the questions raised a while ago by a good gentleman from LPPS. And we would like also to make be given this clarification on those answers also. Secondly, with regard to the implementation of the contract, particularly on, right now we have a contract with BPA, and every time there is a wage order, there is a no loss, no gain implementation of the additional. We would just like to be clarified, yeah, because the minimum under 174 is 10%, and that 10% is based on the amount due to the employee and the government. Every time there is an increase in these benefits, it should be based on the percentage of 10% percentage of those items. So what happens is that under the no loss no gain rule that you have been instructing us to do, it is on the peso amount. For example, the 10% is equal to 100 pesos. When we use 100 pesos for the additional, that will be less than the 10%. And similarly with the other computations. So what we're asking is that how would be the bidding now in case there is a new wage order for all the regions, including the head office and provincial, in case there is an increase, what will be the basis of the 10% or the what will be the base of the 10% or the admin expense or admin percentage used by the company?
Well, that's a particular issue which has not yet been addressed by the head office. So we will instruct legal to take a look at the proper computation and to respond in writing regarding the proper computation.
Okay, thank you, sir. And lastly, sir, the same problem was raised a while ago. We also have the same kind of problem in one of the branches handled by DBP Service Corporation, and we will be with regard to the 5 days and the 6 days, meron din po kami. So that's why we are raising also the same query for your clarification.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
considering that the terms of reference for all procurement activities for manpower are similar, do you have other questions with regards the Luzon cluster, besides cluster, Mindanao cluster, other than those raised for the head office? Madam Secretary, can you ask the leaders? For
Do you
clarity.
have, yes, do you have the same questions for Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao? Considering that what we have discussed is for the head office. Anyway, we have the same provisions in the TOR, in the terms of reference, for the PMOs and for the head office.
I think the wage order captures all.
The wage order.
I think it captures all. Am I correct? That, the one you asked for, the wage order, sir. So it captures all for all the clusters, especially regional.
Kasi yung kung 6 station sa PM siya sa head office is only 5 days.
Okay.
So, encompassing na rin for
Mas
the
marami yung mga PMO, yung regional ano namin
Pero
offices.
ilagay natin dito kasi for 5 days, Monday to Friday.
Pero considering na
There would be. For
Para makita na. Hindi, hindi naka-indicate na. Para makita nila.
there are last minute changes for the top scale.
So, nakalagay na.
So we're looking at zero plans here.
So, salary grade pa lang nakalagay. Yung salary grade, yung monthly salary, salary lang.
Yes, yes, but there will be separate plans and also including the number of hours. And the working days.
Madam Secretary, so there are no further questions. Okay, for this, well, for clarity's sake, the reason why we're doing this, that it's all in the head office, because in the previous years, there have been multiple contracts with different provisions. So we're trying to rationalize hiring, outsourcing. That's why there's a singular contract, singular pattern in which it's being the head office being the entity procuring it. So before per region, we've had issues with different contracts wherein with one PMO there are different terms from a different PMO. So in order, we're one agency. That's why we're unifying all the terms of reference. Okay, Madam Secretary, please remind everyone the relevant dates.
Please be reminded of the following schedule. For the head office, admin support, the schedule for the submission and opening of bids is on August 13 at 10 a.m. The deadline for submission of documents is 9 a.m. For cluster Luzon, we have likewise August 13, 2019 at 2 p.m. The deadline for submission is 1 p.m. For the Visayas cluster, the deadline for submission of bids is at 9 a.m. August 14. The opening of bids is August 14 at 10 a.m. For the Mindanao cluster, opening of bids is at 2 p.m. August 14. The deadline for submission is 1 p.m. August 14, 2019.
Okay, thank you. Madam Secretary, do you have anything else?
None, Mr. Chair.
There. Okay.
Make recommendations.
Okay.
Sorry. One more question. For purposes of determining also the track record of the bidder in terms of similar contract. So you're looking for a contract where the services provided or the people who, the manpower provided is basically admin support. Is that correct? Because there will be contact for engineering support, there will be contact for technical support, there will be contact for IT support. So you're looking for admin support.
Yes, sir. I think that is clearly indicated under
Yes.
the data sheet. Procurement of administrative support.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's okay.
But we have to take a look of each and every positions that will be
Yes.
included in that admin support.
Yes.
services.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Nothing else? Okay, because if you're going to share, there's this meeting at your thank you. Bye-bye.
Networking. At sa NFCC. Dito yung